Welcome back to Sports Wrap Live, everybody. We're going to keep our eye on the diamond, talk some Major League Baseball. It's a big weekend, man. We got some big numbers going up. Just as Andrew said, do not call it the year of the pitcher. The bats come alive. We'll get into that. But it is Shout Out Sunday, so I got to shout out my man Hector from Lunaface for the Fly Fest 2012, May 19th. I'm going to run down some of the names right off the top. Sean Price, Dubb, ESG, Guilty Simpson, Killer Kyleon, Jackie Chang, K Reno, Dirty and Nasty, Ton P, Cab the Don, Roosh Williams, on and on and on. It looks like a who's who of Houston hip-hop with a little boot camp click.
Most definitely. It's
mixed in.
This is the list. If you're
hardcore, of course, Rap Packer
hardcore.
Hardcore.
Special shout out to hardcore, especially with that new song with Bun B coming out.
Definitely.
Speakers knock.
Let me tell you this right now. It's $13 right now for a lineup like this, and it goes down all day on May 19th. And tickets are on sale now. You can get them at lunaface.com for online tickets. Or my man intern Matt has got a pocket full of tickets to sell you if you want to pick one up. But right now, we're going to give away a pair at 713-212-5790. Just call in and tell Terrence that you're on the line and you want these tickets for the Fly Fest coming up at Numbers, hosted by BBC and special guest appearance by Mr. Adam Rapp. Just saying. Ha! All right, so let's get on to it, Andrew. The Martinez Report, keeping our eye on the diamond, brought to you as always by...
Me. Let's get it on.
You. Let's get it on. All righty. So, Astros, let's start right there. Kind of starting to drift away from the 500 mark as we were hoping they would. And now I know the Pirates are... They're pretty much basement dwellers along with the Astros over the last few years, but you can't go into Pittsburgh and lose a series like this.
Well, today they lost in 12 innings, and it was an interesting decision that Brett Mills decided to pull Wandy after 8 innings because he was pretty dominant through his 8 innings that he did pitch, but he decided to go to Brett Myers, who he thought could get the better of the lineup there, was the top of the order, and he ended up blowing his first save of the season, which is surprising. Like I said, it was his first. He had been 9 for 9 in his save chances until today. And there was a really controversial third strike that was called against Jose. Well, it should have been called against Jose Tabata, but it didn't get called, and he ended up walking, and that kind of just set the wheels in motion of what ended up being a long inning
baseball for you.
Yeah, you get off on the wrong start with the first batter, and just things start to go your way, and it kind of snowballed on him. And it ended up going to the 12th inning, and they ended up losing. But, it seems like the Astros, though, the games they do lose, a lot of nip and tuck battles. They're not getting really blown out by that many teams. It's just nip and tuck here and there. So we'll see where it goes from here. They're 5-5 over the last 10 games, which is, hey, that's 500 ball.
That's what we're looking for.
I mean, that's really the best you could hope for. 5-11 though on the road this season. That's the third worst road record in Major League Baseball. They got to pick it up. They got to pick it up on the road. They got to find more consistency. They got to find more. They got to help Wandy out too. Wandy did nothing wrong today. He should have gotten the win, but they just not enough run support. So they really got to find a way to help. And it's not.
I mean, we kid about the Astros at home, about the crowds at home lately, because it seems like it's less and less every night, every series, and it'll pick up, like you said, for big interleague series and Rangers and things like that. But what is the difference between this team at home and on the road? Because they were almost sub 500 with a terrible road record like this.
I can't put my finger on it right now, but I guarantee it's probably something along the lines of pitching. It usually comes back to pitching one way or another. And it's just this Astros rotation needs to get better. They need to be shored up a little bit more. You can't rely on J.A. Happ, and Lucas Harrell to go out there and give you quality innings consistently. They're just not that quality, that good of pitchers. So yeah. I think they need to find more consistency in that. And the other thing, it's not my notes, but J.D. Martinez is in like a 1 for 35 slump right now. He's got a bunch of games off. He needs to get whatever it is that's going on. I'm not sure if it's just he's gotten in a slump or there's something going off the field or what's going on. We don't really follow these guys' day-to-day lives off the field or whatever's going on, but he needs to get out of his slump ASAP because that lineup really needs him. They need him badly.
They do. He got off to a pretty decent start to the season.
He got off to a great start. I thought that he was going to be one of the better players this season, and he might still end up being one of the better players this season. But just right now, he's gotten up to a slump that's really hurting him and the team.
All right, we always tell everybody, get it right. So how are the Astros going to get it right this season when you got the Rangers coming in next weekend?
That's why they need to get the wins in against the Pirates now.
Thank
because
you. My point exactly.
When the schedule starts to toughen up, that's when you got to start being like, listen, we at least got to get one. We can't, we need to scrap and try and see how many of these series we can win. Maybe not this one, but we need to try and scrape for every win that we can. Especially the ones that are at home. Because this week they got Philadelphia's coming to town. where they're going to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is not a great team right now.
Yeah.
The name says Phillies, and they've been into a bunch of playoff games, but that offense is struggling. They just have a lot of good pitching. Then they're going to Milwaukee. Milwaukee's also struggling too this season. Rookie Weeks is doing terribly. I mean, they really are scratching, just trying to scrape for wins themselves. But after that, the Rangers are coming to town on this week, and when they come to town on Friday, it's going to be bombs to Crawford.
Bombs away.
Yeah, bombs away. Yeah, up and away is what it's going to be, because the Rangers right now, we'll get to them in the power rankings, but they are just killing it. So.
Well, K-Dub's in the house. Of course, K-Dub, Rat Pack, he's here. Had a lifetime in baseball. Let me ask you right off the bat, K-Dub, as we move just north of us up to Dallas, Josh Hamilton. Have you ever seen something like this before, or what would you compare it to in your life in baseball?
Wow, that's a good question. The best thing I could compare it to would be when Jose Canseco first came into the league.
Cash
Very
Brothers.
physical. Him and Mark McGwire were very physical with the baseball. So it was constantly just a constant barrage of home runs, upper deck shots. I saw Jose Canseco hit a ball in the old Memorial Park in Baltimore.
Yep.
They had a cement outfield wall. And he hit a ball so hard, but below the yellow line, that it bounced back into the infield, and he almost got thrown out.
What?
Yeah.
It was a laser, basically.
It was a laser. It was just, it hit the wall, and it bounced back to the shortstop.
Oh, my God.
Bounced back to Cal Ripken Jr.
Yeah.
And if it wouldn't have been Jose, he might have had a chance to throw.
Wow.
So, when you look at it and you say, okay, that was a physical kind of brand, and then you had Cecil Fielder in the early 90s.
Yep.
Who, it seemed like the year that he hit the 50 home runs, I think was 91, maybe or 92, was it?
It was, definitely
early 90s.
Earlier 90s, yep.
Where, because of the way he was hitting home runs out of Tiger Stadium, and it just seemed like every time he came up to bat,
he hit one out.
Certain anticipation just as a home run hitter. So I think that's the kind of energy that Josh Hamilton's kind of tapping into right now.
Well, now he's tapping into Triple Crown territory, Andrew.
I don't think he's going to make it, because he's going to get injured at some point this season. It would be such a special year for him if he could stay healthy the whole year, and I hope he does. I mean, I don't wish injuries upon anyone, but it's just you look at his track record, and he's going to get hurt at some point this season, because his body just goes through so much wear and tear. And you look at when he actually hits, the amount of torque he puts on his body in the lower half, it's insane. The only guy I could compare him to that I've seen is Bo Jackson. When you look at that sort of just raw strength, definitely nowhere near the athlete of Bo Jackson, or nowhere near the speed of Bo Jackson. When you just look at that raw power, and you're just like, that's just someone that would just put you
almost
on your butt.
Effortless.
Almost effortless. Just like an effortless swing, and you're just like, oh my gosh, how's this guy doing it on such a consistent basis?
Because I remember Canseco's swing was very animated. It was very...
Right.
The
thing I was telling, my dad was the batting coach and the bench coach of the A's at that time.
Huh.
And one of the things that you'll probably notice, in today's baseball, guys have gone to the lighter bats, 30 ounces, 31 ounces, toothpicks. Him and Mark McGwire and Connie Lansford, these guys were all swinging 34-ounce bats, 35-ounce bats, 36-ounce bats. So even with all of that motion, the bat was 36 ounces.
Yeah.
It was 35 inches long. It was a log. And so
Literally
it was a log.
Yeah.
So
these guys want to swing out there with boat paddles. These guys are out there with like Lincoln logs.
Right, and and so it's funny. Even when I sit down and watch games with my dad, he's always, under his breath, he's looking at these guys' bats. He's like, how do you even put the ball in play with a 30-ounce bat? I mean, that's lighter than an aluminum bat in Little League.
Yeah, it's true. I was gonna say I swung a 32-ounce bat in Little League. I think Easton,
And these are big guys.
Yeah.
These are not guys that are not capable, but it's just a feel. It's a feel. People feel comfortable.
Effortless.
They want to have that effortless look. Kind of like Ken Griffey was the first one. Him and Tony Gwynn were the first guys to really use the little tiny bats.
I didn't know Griffey. He used the lighter bat.
Yeah, he used like a 34, 31 and a half ounce.
Right on.
And Tony Gwynn used a pool stick, 32 inch, 31 ounce.
He's a slappy, but guess what?
Cue
That
it up.
slappy's going to
But
get into
he had
around
enough
400.
control.
Yeah.
To put the ball in play. You weren't, he hit the ball off the ground. A notorious bad ball hitter. Like say,
Oh, yeah.
that you don't see in today's
A ninja
game.
with the bat.
Right, absolutely.
Definitely. Well, one guy he's on a little mini tear right now, and he's swinging a big stick. I don't know how heavy his bat is, but that's Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, Beltran, he
Right.
leads the National League in home runs and RBI right now. RBI, that's really doesn't mean much to me, but his
Welcome
home runs.
back, Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, but his home runs, he's having a really good year, and that's why you look at the Cardinals and they're doing as well as they are. You lose Albert Pujols, but you gain a Carlos Beltran. That's a savvy pickup for them.
Hey, and I told people, all the fantasy league people, I was like, look, Carlos Beltran, get him. Because he's a switch hitter, he's going to be back, he's not hurt. And, it's hard to explain to people once you get like a minor ache or a pain at the beginning of the season, how it will wear your swing down. So that, a guy who hits 320 may only hit 260 just because he flat out doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
You can't give up your job, you got to be in the lineup. But you'll see it, if you just kind of watch guys closely, you'll kind of notice like, the hips flying out a little bit, the elbows flying.
And he has had many, I want to say knee surgeries.
Right.
Many knee injuries himself.
So any type of lower body issue, those are the first guys you'll see the average real power. So yeah, he's going to be. I think he's going to be a lock this year too, because he's got a good lineup around him. Guaranteeing he's going to see pitches to hit. They're not going to be pitching around him to get to Berkman or whoever.
And Burke came back today.
Right.
Lance came back today off the DL.
Right. He's not going to get pitched around this year, so he's got a chance to really put up some big numbers.
Awesome. Well, hey, let's talk about this closer carousel. I don't know what's going on in Major League Baseball.
This
but
is the year. This is the year of the closer. Because no team has one.
Right, exactly. The non-closer.
And just the list of teams that change closers this week: the White Sox, the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Marlins, the Mets, the A's, the Padres, the Blue Jays.
Oh my!
They all change at least some sort of closer change this week.
Right.
I think the save has pretty much ruined the way managers manage games, because they always want to save their closer. Oh, I have to save him for whenever we get the lead, because then we have to protect the lead. And managers end up never using their best pitcher because they never get the lead. They lose the game without having their best pitcher play. What do you think about the save rule, and what do you think about the way managers manage towards the save, or have a guy that's designated as their closer? It seems like back in the day, guys would just end games, and it wasn't that big of a deal. You would bring in your best relief pitcher when the game dictated it.
And to piggyback that, what does your dad say about that part of the game? Because you were just talking about him grumbling under his breath.
Right. It's one of those deals where what's happened is you've created a different mindset that, whether it's actually needed or not, that now this is what people look for. So you're looking for this kind of bulldog kind of guy.
And those are also the guys that end up getting paid in the off seasons.
Right. So what you've had is kind of a 10 or 15 year decline in terms of the actual art of the relief pitcher, where maybe in the early 90s you had guys that could go 2 or 3 innings in relief, and it would be your best relief pitcher.
Yeah.
And now it's definitely, the Mariano Rivera mode. We don't want to touch him until we get to the 9th inning and we have a lead. And that worked for him. But also, remember, he came out, he wasn't always the closer.
That's true.
Right, there was Sean Wetland.
Right, before it was not. So even to say that that's the optimum mentality that they're looking for, it's something that just kind of came out of nowhere.
He wasn't bred that way, is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
He was a real pitcher.
Right.
He had to pitch under a variety of different circumstances, which is what you would think you would want your pitchers to be able to do, especially whether it's short relief, middle relief, long relief, that you'd want to have at least some kind of versatility in terms of your staff. Because like I say, if you have to dedicate a roster spot to a guy who's only going to, let's call it, he's going to pitch.
I also think this is a little bit media created too, because the media wants to know who's your closer now. Oh, this guy was down. We don't know who the next guy is.
Right.
And just because that guy is the next anointed guy, comes with it the pressure from the media and the pressure from everyone else. Where if the manager would just say, "Hey, listen, when the 9th inning comes up and if we have a lead, I don't know, I'm going to put my best guy out there we have available."
Right. That's not. Well, it doesn't satisfy what I think the media requirement for having a knowledge of what to expect so they can comment on it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know that managers theoretically aren't supposed to be affected by those kind of things.
Right, but when you watch them, they do.
Right,
They definitely play, because it seems like the manager would rather go out there and play it by the book than come back and tell the media, I went with this because I had the feeling of this is when this guy was needed the most, versus like, because no manager's ever going to get in trouble for holding his closer back to whenever the save situation comes up. But if you use your closer in the 8th inning and then the 9th inning comes up and the other guy blows it, well, why didn't you use your closer save for the 9th inning? You know,
Right.
So
instead of going with your gut, you're going by the book.
well,
Right.
just go with use your best pitcher and the highest leverage situations. If the game dictates this is when the game is going to be decided, use your best pitcher.
Well, hey, you know who I use in certain situations, like when I need to get out of a DWI?
Gary Trichter.
Gary Trichter. H-Town's top DWI lawyer. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to drink, if you want to come to Junction, you want to have a couple beverages with us, hang out, that's fine. But just make sure you have a non-drinking designated driver if you cannot drive home safe and sound, or take a cab or a limo. David just pulled the RV right back up here in the parking lot. You can always lay it down over there.
I've done it a couple times.
You have. And there's
I've
a nice
woken up.
brass pole in there. You can, ask for company if you'd like.
We will not
hang out with you.
disclose
But
the
you were not
activities.
going. Yeah, you're not
But
going
one thing
to.
I didn't do was drink and drive.
No, you did not. And if you did, you didn't have any open containers of alcohol in your car. You were following the traffic laws religiously
Yes.
to not give the officer a reason to stop you. And if you do get stopped, do not answer any questions about drinking, because the guy's not going to believe you anyhow. Be polite, ask for your lawyer before doing any tests or answering any questions, and continue to be polite and ask for your lawyer, even if the officer says you cannot have one, because it is your right under TexasDWIlaw.com to get yourself a lawyer, and Gary Trichter is the one you want to call. And remember, you're going to be on video just like we are here on our podcast on Sports Rap Live each and every Thursday and Sunday night. What's up, everybody? And a DWI is going to cost you over $10,000, possible suspension of your license,
Yeesh.
a doubling and tripling of your insurance costs. So save yourself the money, the headache, and the hangover, and put Gary Trichter's number into your cell phone right now. That's 713-524-1010. Once again, J Nature, plug it in. Oh, you already got it plugged in. 713-524-1010. And when you're the best at what you do when your name becomes a verb, because the other night, I was a little tired. I hadn't even been drinking. I was swerving, and somebody says, "Man, why you Trichterin', man? Why you Trichterin'?"
Why you
So
Trichterin'?
you're the top of your
Wow.
game whenever somebody uses you as a verb. So make sure you call them up, 713-524-1010. Or a couple more stories, Andrew, I want to talk about. We do have old man K-Dubb at the table, and another old man came back to pitch for the Yankees over the weekend, Andy Pettit. Now, have you ever met Andy Pettit before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah,
you crossed
he's,
paths with him.
In casual
Yeah.
situations.
What up? Yeah.
Cool guy.
Yeah, okay. Now, Andy, do you really think he has anything left to prove, or does he really just want to play baseball that much?
Well, I think, when you're left-handed, you have a different,
I guess so. I guess
shelf life
different. Yeah, that's true.
as a pitcher.
Yeah.
I mean, look at J.B. Moyer. I mean,
Very well said. Is he 50 yet? I mean, come
Right,
on.
he's got to be creeping up on 50, like right now.
What year did your dad retire from baseball? Playing.
1984.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you if he
Right.
ever faced David Moyer.
Moyer might have been around then.
Man, he was probably coming up in the
Like,
minor
I
leagues.
think he came up in like 86 or 87.
Golly.
Yeah, close.
Like,
Not too
maybe,
long.
Yeah.
And your dad's had an entire career after playing. That's how long
Right.
Jamie Moyer's been
Exactly.
around. So, I agree. I think a left-handed starter
Right. And
of
that,
Andy Pettit's, upbringing.
He's also never had a losing season ever, as far as record goes.
I mean,
so when
fair.
you've never had a losing season, it's kind of hard to turn your back,
as long as he's able to continue to work inside, I mean, the cut fastball and the slider are going to be nasty. It's not going to. It doesn't require a lot of velocity. It's
And
just
that's a
about-
left-handed cut fastball.
Right.
Well, and the other thing
Unlike
is that
Mo, who's
he's
right.
needed. I mean, it's one thing to have the talent, but if you're wanted, I mean, the Yankees need him right now. Their
Right.
bullpen and their is great, but their starting rotation, it really lacks a lot of oomph, considering some of the injuries we've talked about. Michael Pineda's gone for the year. Some of the other pitchers they've had are,
Right.
really haven't been stepping up as far as like Phil Hughes. So he's needed, definitely in that rotation.
All right. Well, he gave up some runs against the Mariners today. It's going to happen. Like you said at the top of the show, Andrew, give him a couple starts. Let's see what he's
right.
got.
You can't just base it off of one.
No,
start.
no, not at
Especially
all.
after a year and a half layoff.
Right. and
Definitely.
He didn't have spring training. I mean, and it does take a while for him to get the ball down. You just got to keep it ball down. And when you got a lot of energy, anxiety, the ball.
You're back in the Bronx.
Right.
Yeah.
The ball's going to be up.
Definitely.
I mean, it's just.
And you're right. He made 3 starts. One, I think, rookie low A ball.
Right.
Then one at Double A and one at Triple A. And he got kind of shelled, kind of knocked around in the last 2 starts. So this is his 4th start since being at home.
Right.
So.
Right.
All right, Andrew, before we get to the power rankings, Matt Kemp, he's kind of cooled off a little bit in May as the weather heats
He
up.
hasn't had any home runs this month. I think he has maybe 3 RBI, a couple doubles and a triple. But today he left with a hamstring. He could be gone for a day or two. He's going to get an MRI to kind of look at it. But, he's kind of cooled off. Where he has stopped, Josh Hamilton has picked up and kept on going. So.
And running with it.
Yeah.
And as you said earlier, Hamilton could slow down a little bit. Matt Kemp could come back healthy. From whatever's
I would
ailing
love to
him
see
right
these
now.
two both go back and forth, and be the guys that kind of carry the season because they're both great guys.
Absolutely. On good teams, that should be. Texas going for a 3-peat to return to the World Series, not win it, but.
Well, they're both guys that you root for. Matt Kemp, him having an MVP-like season but not getting the award. Maybe he should have, in retrospect.
Yeah.
But Josh Hamilton, even the demons he's gone against. But that's the guy that you kind of also that you've seen in the World Series the last couple of years. Hasn't won yet. Maybe he doesn't even have an MVP type season, but his team does make it to the World Series again.
All right, well, let's get into the power rankings starting at number 5. This is the SRL MLB power rankings for the week. Andrew brings to you each and every week. And if you want to sponsor this power rankings, give us a call, 713-212-5790, and let us know that you want to put your stamp or your brand right here on it. But right now it is brought to you by Andrew Martinez. So let's start number 5.
Have we had this number 5 team in the rankings?
No, they haven't. That's why I was surprised to see him. And it's funny because when you were doing show notes, you waited to fill in number 5.
I waited a long time before coming to this. The Yankees.
Okay.
I think the Yankees are finally starting to come around to where I'm like, you know what? They're just settling in. And it's also productive. I've looked at their schedule. They played some teams that I don't really consider that good lately. They played Kansas City, Baltimore a couple times, Seattle. They took 2 out of 3 from Tampa Bay. So I think they're starting to round into form. They're 19-15, 4 games over 500. But you start to look at them, and this is, as the season goes on, the Yankees wear you down with their lineup. It's not so much the pitching, it's just, and the bullpen has been really good. Losing Mo Rivera is not the end of the world for them. Yeah, it's not the way it used to be, but it's not. They have David Robertson. He's very good. He blew a save this past week. It's not the end of the world, but they have a good,
Mo blew his first 3 out of his first 4 saves opportunities when he first got the closer role. So
I'm one of the greatest closer of all time, if not the. But I think this Yankees team is starting to round into form, and I look for them to start giving people a lot of hell whenever they come to their town.
All right. Well, number 4.
Number 4, we got the
They
Dodgers.
kind of slipped a little bit. You had them at number 3, I think, peaking at number 2.
They've been hanging around. It's been pretty surprising. It's been like, not just Matt Kemp, but now it's starting to be the pitching. It's starting to be the pitching. You look at like Lilly, Harang, Capuano. These are guys that are pretty unheralded, but the Capuano signing over the offseason, I think they also brought in Aaron Harang over the offseason from San Diego. Right. Those are guys that probably could have been gotten on the cheap by many other teams, but they brought him in. I think that's what's kind of kept them going because it really seems, you look at that lineup, it's Kemp, Ethier, and then who knows? Juan Rivera, he had to go on the DL this week. So while the offense isn't there, the pitching's carrying them. So I'm still keeping them in my top 5 because, there are 12 games over 500. Eventually, the average opponent they're facing, the schedule's going to catch up with them. But even through over a month now, they're still holding strong. So I got to give them props.
All right. Now, it's another team that's kind of hung around your top 5. They bounced around a little bit. I think they were in, then they were out. Now they're back in at number 3, and that's the Braves. Surprising.
The Braves, surprisingly.
Over the Nationals.
Yeah, well, the Nationals, you kind of have to knock them a little bit. The Nationals took them out because their catcher, Wilson Ramos.
Wait. If you're going to knock the Nationals, just don't let it come back and hit you in the head. I don't want you to get a bloody eyebrow.
Like Bryce Harper. But it's not so much Bryce Harper. It's that Jason Worth, the broken wrist that we saw last Sunday night. He was one of their big offensive cogs. He's done for the year. Their catcher, Wilson Ramos, he's out for the year with a torn ACL, I think, this morning. So they've had good pitching, but the offense has just struggled so much that I really can't see them being a top 5 team right now. But the Braves offense has just been so good. They just swept the Cardinals.
Hayward's
in St. Louis
really get hot. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to look at it too, though. I think they also caught the Cardinals, in a situation where they're looking at Adam Wainwright to have a quality start finally. He wasn't able to get it done. Once again, ball up.
Yep.
Out of the yard.
Yep.
In the power alleys. So the Braves, like I say, I think offensively, when you look at certain players, you look at the Jason Haywards and the Uglas and these guys, they're always going to put the ball in play. And as long as you have guys that are going to put the ball in play, you're going to have a chance to win, especially if you got quality pitching.
Ducks on the pond,
Braves
baby.
do.
Ducks on the pond.
You know, that I certainly think that they're definitely on the rise.
They just had 9 games they were on the road, Adam. They went 7-2.
Right.
Hey, you're going to get in anyone's top 5 if you start doing that.
You get those road wins now before it heats up down here in the South.
And Jason Hayward, like I've been saying all along, he's been playing great baseball this
Good
year.
for him. Good for him. All right, well, the team that – this is funny. The team that they just swept over the weekend, you have them at number 2.
I still have the Cardinals high up there. I think their pitching has been much better than I thought it would be this season. Also considering their pitching coach is no longer there anymore. I think Lance Lynn has been a great surprise and a great find for them this season. I think once they get Chris Carpenter back, they're going to be even better. But I'm not losing faith in the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are still the best team in the National League. I think they're going to run away with the NL Central by far. I think they're way better. I think they're way better than almost any other NL Central team.
Right.
I think even the fact that they don't have Tony La Russa, they haven't missed a beat. I think their bullpen's been pretty good this season. I like the way Carlos Beltran's playing. I like Matt Holliday. I think once Berkman gets back in there, and Rafael Furcal is having one of the best seasons for a shortstop right now in all of baseball. He could maybe win. I'm not sure if there's like an old man award or something like that, but comeback player of the year award or something.
The Bunby Award.
He has played a great baseball for them. He has played great baseball for them at shortstop, and Yadier Molina is still having a good team. They're a complete team to me. I'm not worried about them losing and just getting swept by the Braves. I still like the Cardinals.
And as I mentioned, Lance Berkman just came off the DL. That's going to be a huge another switch hitter. With Beltran and Berkman. Woo!
Right.
That's nasty. All right, now holding strong in number 1, and it looks like they're holding strong tonight against L.A., the Angels, that is. That is the Texas Rangers as Josh Hamilton. We talked about it ad nauseum, but I just think it's amazing what he's done. Big bat, little bat, I don't care.
Show me a weakness other than manager. I really don't like Ron Washington as far as some of his decision making, but on the field product right now, I mean, they have the speed. They can go out there and steal bases. They have the pitching right now. Darvish has really stepped up. Derek Collin has been holding it steady. The back end of the bullpen is phenomenal. The transition from having Neftali Feliz from the starter to the closer back to the starter, it seems like it's worked itself out. He's pitching again tonight. I mean, defensively, they seem like they're doing well. They've had no injuries, surprisingly, to this point in the season. I think, without a question, they're number 1 team in all of baseball, and I'm not sure if it's really close to them in the number 2 team. What do you think?
I think you're right. They've certainly distanced themselves. Being consistent is definitely difficult, especially early in the season. But once again, you look, in another couple of weeks, we'll be through a large portion of the season, and
that's
it's going to be a nice cushion to be able to rely on as you get through the dog days of the summer. And
Adam, they're about to go to Kansas. They're about to play Kansas City and Oakland at home, then go to Houston, then go to Seattle. That sounds like 10 wins to me right there.
Right off the top.
right.
That's like 4 series wins in a row, for sure.
Right.
For sure. And even this matchup here tonight, I think when ESPN first scheduled this game to be a nationally televised game, they thought to themselves, oh, wow, Pujols and the Angels.
Right.
Yeah, I think we'll probably just go to the top. We'll probably go to the top of the hour so we can get into our shout-out Sundays. But they thought this was going to be a huge game, and right now it's not living up to that.
They'll make any pitcher, and no matter who it is, Cy Young Award winner, no-hitter, it doesn't matter who you put out there. They will make any pitcher look pretty mortal.
Well, shout out to the Rangers, man, holding on to that number 1 spot once again. Andrew, you're going to bring us your
we'll be out there next week and seeing them.
We will. We definitely will, and we'll bring you our new power rankings next Sunday right here on Sports Rap Live. But I think we're going to take it to the top of the hour. Everybody's had a long day. I know we've been hanging out with moms. Luis is still recovering from his forever orange fever downtown for the soccer game. And I encourage everybody to get out there and at least see a game. Andrew, you have credentials. Go out there and check out a game. One game. Come on, Andrew. You were actually into it on the air.
Go, man.
I know, man.
He won't go. He refuses to go.
That's so bad.
But we're going to have to find a way to get him.
We're going to drug him.
I bet you their press area is nice, isn't it?
It's cool. Everything there is very compact. Okay, so even the suites, they're nice little suites, but they're little suites.
They're little suites. Okay.
So, and that's just the way the stadium's constructed. It's really cool. I think for soccer, it's perfect.
Hey, Manchester City, they just won the EPL. When are they coming to town?
They're gonna have some international friendliends. So, Luis, why don't you come over here and join us?
When's Messi coming to town? Messi coming to town?
I guarantee he'll come in for a friendly at some point. All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's take it to the top of the hour at 10 o'clock so we can get out of here. Let's get into our shout-out Sundays. Yeah, go ahead, K-Dubb. Why don't you get your shout-outs in? It is Mother's Day, and I got to say, hey, each one of us needs to shout-out our mom. We'll go down the line here before we get into our real shout-outs. So,
yes, I've got to shout-out Miss Mrs. Carol Watson, my mama. I love her. Love you, mama. And I know you had a good day today. We spent a lot of time with her today. And,
Good.
You know,
I think everybody's out here today because we spent so much time with Mom today. So we were all like, okay, you're my Mom. We're going to Sports Shop Live.
I gotta go set up.
Absolutely. Shout out to your mom, Tito.
Definitely shout out to my mom, Miss Olanda Davalos, who came down from Dallas at the last minute with my dad and my dog. And we spent the day today, and I definitely don't get to see them every day like everybody else, or some people do. But, shout out to my mom. I love you, Mommy. Te quiero mucho.
Awesome. Luis, go ahead and shout out your moms.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my mom. Gave me birth, love her to death. I'm happy she's here, still alive. I know a few people that don't have their mother. I'm glad, be thankful for her. I want to be thankful for my son's mom. She was out there at the game hanging out with us, good people. And I give her kudos for the way she raised my son. Great kid. And I want to give a shout out to my sister-in-law, Monique, who's out there listening too. Doing a great job with my niece and my nephew. Shout out to all the moms out there in the world, and a special shout out to my aunt, whose birthday is actual today too. So happy birthday, my Aunt Diana. Love you. Thanks for the great job too. Happy Mother's Day.
This is Jay, Nature Tripod. I want to send a shout out to my mom, Liz Lisby. Mama Nature, we call her. Shout out to everybody else that's hanging out with the Rat Pack crew, all those moms, because if it wasn't for them, we would not be here on a Sunday night doing our thing.
Yo, what's up? This is Ralph G.
A.K.A.
Bad Rap King. BRK knows. You already know. I want to give a shout out to my moms and my grandmother for holding it down for these past 32 years. They've put up with a lot. I'm not easy to deal with, but they've done it. An amazing job of it. So shout out to them and all my fam.
This is intern Matt. I want to shout out to my mom, Judy Samuelson, down in Clear Lake. And we had a nice little day in Galveston. It was real nice. Shout out, Mom. Love you.
I want to give a shout out to your mom as well. What? It's Mother's Day. Why?
Thank you, Tito. Intern Matt is working hard over here, man. Everyday life. You want to shout out your mom? Come on now, Rat Pack. Yeah, Rat Pack, man. We doing it. We love all the Rat Pack moms, man.
Yeah, this is your boy, Everyday Life. I want to send a shout out to my mom. She's my heart and my soul. But yeah, she's the one.
Very good, man. And she let you get married, so she's a good lady. She approved. She gave you the thumbs up, man. Well, shout out to Mrs. Debbie Rapp. Of course, she is a lifelong school teacher, lifelong, obviously, mother of 36, almost 37 years from me and my sister, my little sister. And she's amazing. She tunes in when she can. Sometimes she kind of raises her eyebrow on what we're talking about here on Sports Rap Live or what we're getting into, but it's only because she loves me. So, Andrew, your mom is a big fan of the show, and she tunes in all the time.
Sometimes send a shout out to my mom, Brenda Martinez. Love her very, very much, and she's put up with me and my sister for quite a while now. So shout outs to her. Went out down there. We made grilled some food out there today. It was nice. Sat around the house. Love my mom. So happy birthday to her from January 16th. So and then we
happy birthday, Mom.
No, we celebrated her birthday,
right.
and then it seems like that it just kind of rolls. Like my dad, he gets her like a gift and he rolls up the Valentine's into the birthday, and then he tries to roll the anniversary into the the Mother's Day.
Wow.
He gets those rollover miles.
You are your father's son, aren't you?
Yeah. That's where all that comes from.
That is DTI style right there. I got to shout out Premium Pete. He's out there. His New York Rangers made the
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn talking to you. Yeah, the New York Rangers are playing the New Jersey Devils, and the LA Kings are playing the Phoenix Coyotes, which I think is great for hockey because now you have these major markets. Now, Phoenix, I don't say they're a major hockey market, but they're owned by the NHL. So that's the NHL. It'd be like if the Hornets made it to the NBA Finals. Come on.
Well, David Stern, I'm not sure he would allow that.
That's true. That's very true. No, he would blow it up. Yeah, he would crash the bus before they made it.
Well,
to the
they'd
finals.
probably make some great trade, and then he'd put the kibosh on it.
Right.
Oh, wait,
No,
that was this season.
That ain't happening. So it's true. It's true. You guys boo, but it's true. So, shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to New York. Shout out to all our friends. I'm going to start with my shout out, and then we'll get into our last minute shout outs before we get to the top of the hour. My shout out goes to LeBron for winning the MVP. It is well deserved. Thank you. Smooths, yeah. Absolutely, man. Because, hey, you know what? Bottom line, I think people are starting to love the kid again. So many people hated on him because of the decision.
Yep.
So many people hated on him but you got to get over it, man. The kid is a incredible. I say kid, the grown ass man. is an incredible basketball player. He gets it done on the court, and agree or disagree, LeBron is a generational player.
Yes, he is.
And his influence on the game is that of a Michael Jordan, is that of a basically a worldly global brand and a transcendent player.
Well, he wants to be a global icon.
Well,
So
go get a
we'll let him
championship.
be.
Go get a championship, and then you can start building on that legacy as well.
He is a franchise. He is the NBA franchise face.
He really is. Real quick, shout out to our team for shooting with us in the gym. Everybody was here on time tonight. Everybody was here early. Andrew Martinez beat me here. So I got to give a big shout out to everybody. Absolutely.
That's a first.
He was here working on his notes. He was doing, no, it's not a first, but it's few and far between. Jay Nature, of course, intern Matt, everybody was here. Tito here right on time. Of course, K-Dubb came through. Bun B was here. I didn't think Bun would be out here because, Queen on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
That's hit or miss.
But like he said, him going away was a gift.
It was a gift to her. She was probably ready for him to get out of the house. It was girl time over there at the Bun B Trillionaire Estate. And, hey, everybody else out there, thank you guys so much for tuning in to us. And Thursdays and Sundays.
Hey, and you still got time. If you haven't called your mother today, you still got a few hours.
do it.
That's very true. All right, guys, who are your shout-outs to tonight? Got a shout-out?
Shout out to my mom. That was about the shout out I had.
Okay,
today.
I wanted to give everybody an extra shout-out if you want to shout out somebody in the sports world.
I got to shout out Big Pokey.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He's taking it to the music side. We do talk music on this
shout out Big Pokey. I had a chance to sit down with him last week, and we're going to be in the studio, so
working on something.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, K-Dubb and Big Pokey.
Going down.
Wow, that'd be legendary. That's home run hitting material.
I want to give a shout out to all those people tailgating yesterday, even putting up with the Paul Blart parking lot securities out there. You saw it out there.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Ruben having a great tailgate, and all the other people out there tailgating for the Dynamo game. Just,
Absolutely.
Keep your head up on those little twerks, but we get it figured out.
Absolutely. You got to figure out all the little bugs. I mean, there's still little niches and nuances at the stadium they're still working on. But hey, the doors opened and it was a great event. You got a shout out?
Also, I want to shout out somebody that we haven't shout out in a while. Tits, 2 in the shirt. Everybody out there in Seattle, B-Boy, Merrick, Brandy, all the photographers, all the designers that hold us down, that do our exclusive H-Town Sneaker Summit shirt, which is coming. So everybody in July 29th, be ready for another Tits collab. H-Town Sneaker Summit going down. Shout out to my people at Tits. I love y'all.
Absolutely. Hey, shout out to Kadoma for calling in, checking in, of course.
Jet Life on that G6.
He's on it, man. And Wally Sparks, make sure y'all get that live from the Underground June 5th. Shout out to Aaron and the whole Junction Bar and Grill. I think we're good to go. And no doubt we got to shout out the big show on Sports Talk 790 with Matt, Adam, and Lance. Make sure you keep it locked for the drive to work tomorrow morning as they keep the Sports Talk on deck, as well as Cook and Kalu in the trenches from 10 to 11 a.m., just like we do every Thursday and Sunday night in the trenches right here at Junction Bar and Grill on Sports Rap Live. We'll see you guys and gals on Thursday for a brand new SRL. Until then,
that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.